AWS offers more than 200 services, but there is one service that allows us to create a scalable and resilient infrastructure in seconds. And the best part is that it's 100% free. The service name is... Hey everyone, today we will analyze together one of the most powerful AWS services. Let's say that we want to deploy a backend application. The first thing we can do is to run it on an EC2 machine and expose the IP publicly. This approach has a few issues. First of all, scalability. This simple architecture just doesn't scale. When the number of requests goes up, we cannot add more servers since we are running just on one machine. Second, resiliency. Let's say that for whatever reason our server goes down, then our entire application is not reachable anymore. Third, downtime due to deployment or operations. Every time we deploy a new version of our application, we will have a little bit of downtime. That's definitely not ideal. Before we talk about the magic AWS service that will solve all our issues, let's find a manual solution. We just need a few more components. First of all, we will place a load balancer in front of our EC2 instance. The requests goes to the load balancer and then are forwarded to the instance. Then we can add multiple machines as we need. This will improve a lot the resiliency of our application. If we have a problem on a server, all the requests will be forwarded to the other healthy servers. Now we can add an auto-scaling group so that we can remove or add servers based on the current load. This will make our application scalable and save us money as well. Then we can configure our load balancer to have an health check, so that if an instance is unhealthy, will be replaced automatically. We also usually need a database for our application. For that, we can use RDS. Doing all this configuration by hand can be really complex, right? That's why we have Elastic Beanstalk. Beanstalk is a platform as a service that allows us to select our current platform, just add the bare minimum settings, and we are ready to go. Beanstalk will instantiate all the resources for us, manage them through CloudFormation, and we can also easily connect a CI/CD pipeline. Hey folks, that's me from the future. I just want to say thanks to the sponsor of this video. Jokes apart, we don't have any sponsor, unfortunately. But if you want to help me paying the bills, you can definitely do it. Just hit the like button, subscribe and turn on the bell to stay updated with all the new contents. You did it, right? Right? Okay, let's go back to the video. As I said initially, the best thing is that using Elastic Beanstalk to manage all this complexity is 100% free. We will pay just for the underlying resources like the EC2 instances and the load balancer. If you are a solo developer or you work in a really small team, I think that Beanstalk is one of the best options out there. Let's see how we can deploy our Node.js application on Elastic Beanstalk in less than 60 seconds. Alright, now we are on Elastic Beanstalk. I just need to click on Create Application. In this case, it's a web server environment. We can also have workers. Application name, let's call it Fastify. We have our environment. I don't need to add any custom domain, but let's call it Fastify example. For the platform, I will select Node.js, upload your code, local file. Now, as you can see from here, I just created a really simple Fastify application. We need to compress all this stuff. Now we can click on choose file and select our archive. This is really important. If we want to have our sandbox, we can use a single instance, but in my case, I want to have high availability. On the version, we can say version number 1. We can scroll down. In this case, I don't need an RDS database, but we can add it as well. Next, here we can configure our instances. In this case, on capacity, I will say number of instances minimum 2 in order to have at least 2 instances and maximum 4 instances. Here you have to set the instance types that you want to use. In this case, this is perfectly fine. In this case, I want to have an application load balancer. Keep in mind that you will pay for that. I just want to have a listener on port 80, which is fine. We can go next. But as you can see here, we can configure a lot of things. So when you are working on your Elastic Beanstalk application, please invest some time on reviewing all the parameters, and we are ready to go. Just click on submit. The creation of all the resources, it's gonna take a few minutes. After a couple of minutes, it finished and I can just click on the domain here. And as you can see, hello world. Do you want to set up a CI/CD pipeline to have all your deployments automated? Well, that's really easy. Let's do it. In order to create a CI/CD pipeline, we need to go on code pipeline. Let's create a new pipeline. We will call it Fastify as well. The source will be GitHub. I already connected my account, but you can do it as well. The repo name is Fastify. Hello. The trigger is the push in a branch, and the branch is the main branch. In this case, since it is a really simple Node.js application, I don't need that build step, so skip build stage. And we want to deploy on Beanstalk. The application name is Fastify and the environment is Fastify environment. Click on next. You have to review all the settings and create pipeline. The pipeline is being created. Now I just downloaded the source code from GitHub and is deploying on Beanstalk. The first deployment has been successful, but just to double check that everything works, here I will just change something really small in the application. I will commit everything. And let's push it. Now, as you can see, the pipeline automatically restarted and we have to wait just a couple of minutes. The deployment just finished. Now if I reload the page, we can see Hello World too. I just want to spend a few seconds to show you how things works under the hoods. For me, it's really interesting. As we mentioned previously, Elastic Beanstalk under the hoods is using CloudFormation. If we go on the CloudFormation page, we can find the stack. So let's click on it. This is the template that has been generated. Don't panic. It's just a JSON file, but we can click on View in the Designer to see it visually. This is all the stuff that Beanstalk created for us. As you can see here, we have our load balancer, we have the auto-scaling group, this is the listeners, in this case just for the port 80. We have a couple of CloudWatch alarms, we have the scale-up policy and the scale-down policy as well. We have the security groups both for Elastic Beanstalk and for the load balancer, and we also have the target group for the load balancer as well. If you want to have more information on how Elastic Beanstalk works, you will find a lot of documentation on the AWS website. Alright, we are at the end of this journey. Please let me know in the comment section if you are already using Beanstalk, if you like it, and what are the other services that for you are essential. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn how to deploy a Node.js app on AWS Lambda in less than 60 seconds, this one is the best video for you.